With your link and loop kit, you'll make a loopy chain scarf. Instead of knitting a flat project, you will learn how to knit in a circle to create a three-dimensional piece. When you start to knit, the first row of stitches on the knitting needle is called casting on. This will determine how big your chain loop will be. Here is an easy way to get you started. Wind the yarn around your finger and pull a loop through it. You've just made a slip knot. Let's see that again. Wrap the yarn around your finger and pull the loop through. Great! Slip the knot onto the needle. Tighten it to make a stitch. Be sure the stitch is not too tight. Make an L shape with your left index finger and thumb. Pull the yarn over your index finger. Bring the needle over to the left side. The yarn makes a P shape around your index finger. Poke the needle under the yarn around your finger and pull it through. This moves a loop from your finger onto the needle. You've just made a stitch. Let's make another. Pull the yarn over your index finger, make a P, poke the needle through, slip off your finger. Continue casting on stitches the same way until you have enough width for your project. For this project, you will need to cast on 30 stitches. Practice casting on until you feel comfortable. Poke, pull, off. After you've cast on 30 stitches, it's time to link the loops. The knit stitch is the main stitch used in creating knitted projects. Make sure your stitches are neat and straight, not twisted. Line up the ridge of stitches along the top of your needle. Put the circular knitting needle through the knitted loop that is included in the kit. Make sure the needle attached to the ball of yarn is in your right hand. The yarn should be behind the needle. Poke the needle up through the first stitch. With the right needle behind the left one, wrap the yarn around. Poke the points of the needle out of the stitch. Push the needle forward to slide the old stitch off. Make sure the new stitch is on your needle. Great! Poke, wrap, off. Don't knit too tight. Tight stitches make knitting much harder. Continue knitting around until you have completed 9 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When you've reached the end of your knitting, it's time to cast off. Knit 1 more stitch. Put the left needle into the second stitch. Lift the stitch up and over the top stitch. Drop it off the needle. Now knit another stitch. Lift the second stitch up and over the top and off. Continue this along the whole row. Knit and lift off. When you reach the last stitch on the row, loosen the stitch so it is nice and big. Cut off the yarn with a couple inches to spare. Slip the end of the yarn through the stitch and pull it to tighten the loop. Weave the tail into your knitting. You have just linked 2 loops together. Continue knitting and linking loops together. You will need to knit 12 chain loops together to complete your scarf. It's so fast and easy! Chain-tastic!